Set up. It is not. And then can you want to review or it'll need to be his Zoom ID, but the laptop I was given today has nothing on it to include Zoom. So do we have anyone appearing via Zoom? I don't think so. I wasn't told that we did. So let's just end it. Eileen will tell me if I'm wrong. All right, Mr. Stewart.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
May it please the Court, Your Honor, Brad Stewart, on behalf of Jesse, the Board Judge. This is 22 CF 908. We have the deposition of minor
What was the
child.
last name?
The Board, D-E-B-O-R-D. We have a waiver of appearance on file, Judge. We have the deposition of minor child. That's set for November 6th. We do need to continue this matter to perfect that deposition.
Give me just a second.
Judge, I have that on it. Mr. DeBoard's case should be on page 44. It should be docket entry 134 if you're looking for the case on the docket.
How's the docket sorted? Okay, so you, okay. No wonder I couldn't find it. It's not alphabetical order. So you want a continuance, is that what you said?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, and what are the court dates? And is there an objection?
There is no objection. That's accurate. We do have a deposition of a minor child at the Child Advocacy Center, and I think it's December.
The next pre-trial conference is December 11th for out of custody.
All right, so I will grant the continuance, and this will be scheduled for pretrial conference on December 11th.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Heath.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the Court. James Heath on behalf of Mr. Hanson. It's going to be case number 23 CF 223, Your Honor. It's Hanson. Mr. Hanson is present to my left. Judge, if I may get just a quick bit of housekeeping out of the way. Previous counsel, Ms. Condon, filed a motion to withdraw. I filed a notice of appearance. There's not been an order for her withdrawal yet, even though I'm on it. I just want to make sure the record's clear that I've got the case.
So this is Mr. Hanson? Right. And so I'll grant the motion to withdraw for prior counsel. All right, so Mr. Heath, where do we stand on this case?
Judge, although I just picked the case up, I've spoken with the state, and it looks like we're going to have a resolution. We'd like to keep it on docket day and get that squared away.
October 16th at 9 a.m.
All right, so this will be set on October 16th at 9 a.m. for a resolution.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. And Your Honor, Mr. Weinstock asked that I cover for one of his cases, if it pleases the court. That's going to be State of Florida versus Cooper Johnson. It'll be 23 CF 963.
Are all the public defender cases at the end of the docket? Okay. Okay. I just assumed all the dockets were finished the same way. Give me just a minute. All right, so this is Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, and I appreciate the court's courtesy letting us address this. Mr. Weinstock is respectfully requesting a two-cycle continuance, but he also advises me that he doesn't think the state's going to agree to a two-cycle continuance, so I will defer to how they want to work it out.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, Miss Bossett. This is a Miss Bossett case, and she's not here this morning, but she did leave Mr. Lasco and I notes. Ms. Basso was expecting a continuance for this cycle, but she wanted it to be announced last continuance because she wants it to be a trial next cycle if it's not resolved.
So I will continue it for one cycle, and then it'll be set on December 11th at 9 a.m. And then when you all see Judge Ketchel in December, he can decide what will happen then.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'll pass that word accordingly, Your Honor. That's all I have before the court this morning. May I excuse?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
This one has notes on it.
Just so you know, I don't have Judge Ketchel's.
You're fine. Miss Merrifield? Good morning again.
And Judge, the first set of cases are going to be under my partner's name.
Okay.
The first one is Randall Booker in 23 CF 1346. There is a waiver on file for Mr. Booker. And as the court's aware, we had a little bit of an issue with an e-portal yesterday or last week. I did submit unopposed motions with proposed orders. Have you had the benefit, or does it still show? May I approach with
Yes.
this proposed order, Judge?
Thank you. All right, and the state has no objection, correct?
This was Ms. Bossow's. We discussed this on October the 4th, and she did not have an objection to it.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Basso does not have an objection, and there are depositions that are set, so
All right,
that's why.
it'll be continued.
1211, Judge?
Yes.
The next case is Alan Brooks in 23 CF 1462. Similar situation, Judge. We do have depositions scheduled. Spoke with Ms. Sharpless on October the 4th, submitted an unopposed motion and proposed order.
Any objection to the continuance?
That's accurate, Judge, no objection to the
I may
continuance.
All right, 12-1, 9 a.m.
They have to be filed.
But it can't be signed.
They're still subject.
Okay.
And Judge, the next case I have is Angela Gilmore, 23 CF 1277. Ms. Gilmore is present and approaching.
Good morning, Ms. Gilmore.
And we've reached an agreement, Judge, if I may approach.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, while she approaches, the state has contacted the victim to comply with Marcy's law in this case, and the victim is in agreement that a PTI is the proper resolution.
Okay.
Judge, I will be filing a score sheet after this.
Okay.
If I may approach, Judge.
Yes.
And Judge, this will be a plea to the pretrial intervention program. Ms. Gilmore will take the intervention agreement with her to probation to check in. She is withdrawing her previously entered not guilty and entering a no contest plea, and as a plea to the court with a deferred sentence. She's to complete pretrial intervention. If she successfully completes it, then she may withdraw her plea and her case will be dismissed. If she does not successfully complete the PTI program, she'll proceed directly to sentencing. And the terms of her pretrial intervention agreement as outlined in the plea as well as the PTI agreement is a 6-month term, $515 in court cost, $100 cost of prosecution, $40 per month cost of supervision, anti-theft course, $104.65 cost of investigation to Niceville Police Department, and restitution in the amount of $1,055.42 to Cumberland Farms.
All right, Ms. Gilmore, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, tell me your full name and date of birth.
Angela Michelle Gilmore, November 4th, 1980.
All right. Ms. Gilmore, your attorney has advised that you wish to enter a plea to the charge of grand theft. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You understand that by entering this plea, you'll be giving up the right to a trial by jury at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You'd give
Yes,
up
sir.
the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your own defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
In addition, if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or a plea of no contest today, you could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that when you enter this plea, there is no agreement as to the sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Merrifield has gone over the mechanics of how the pretrial intervention works. And if you successfully complete that, then this charge will be dismissed.
Yes, sir.
But if you do not complete the pretrial intervention successfully, you'll proceed immediately to sentencing?
Yes.
All right. All right, so I'll accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. I'll defer sentencing until after the pretrial intervention agreement period. And then she just needs to check in with probation, correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, ma'am. You need to check in with probation.
Judge, the next case I have is Danielle Jamison at 23 CF 845. There is a waiver on file for Ms. Jamison. We'd like to leave this one set for docket day for plea to continue.
Any objection?
That was Jamison, Mr.
No
Lasco?
objection.
All right, so we'll leave Jameson set for plea or continue on 10/16.
Thank you, ma'am. The next one, Judge, is Anissa Gines, 23 CF 423. We have additional depositions that are pending. I sent in an unopposed motion and proposed order to continue. It was also stuck in the queue, if I may approach, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a waiver on file for Ms. Jones.
All right, so this will be continued until December 11th at 9 a.m.
The next case is Benjamin Roerig, 23 CF 1166. There is a waiver on file for Mr. Roerig. I'd like to leave this one set for docket day, plea or continue.
This will be left plea or continue on 10/16.
And Judge, moving on to the list that's under my name.
Okay.
And the first case I have is Sabrina Brief, 23 CF 1428. There is a waiver on file. Same situation, Judge, unopposed motion to continue.
12/11.
Approach. And the last case I have, Judge, is to Kendrick Grimes in 22 CF 2812. There is a waiver on file. I am requesting a continuance. This is a case that, with Ms. Bossow, she's not here today to speak with her about it. We have gone back and forth on this case several times trying to iron out a plea. As the court can see, it is a very serious matter. So we would request a last continuance so we can iron out those details.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th at 9 a.m., and this will be the last continuance.
And I believe that is all I have, Judge.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Patel?
Good morning, Judge.
Hang on one second. We might have, Bayer was already continued. All right, go ahead, Mr. Patel.
First case I have on the docket, Jay Patel on behalf of Joshua Arenas. Judges 23 CF 1722. Move to continue the case. It's the first time up. I don't believe that we've received all the discovery, and then we need to set up depositions thereafter.
Any objection to the continuance?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, it'll be continued until December 11th at 9 a.m. Let's give the clerk a second while they work out their IT issues. I'm just glad it's not me today. Nope, thank you.
You good?
Go ahead.
Okay. Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Ralph Bullard Campbell, 22 CF 2306. Judge, is there a November date that I can put this on. We received an offer, finalized offer was this morning, so I need to meet with my client.
Set it on date for plea.
Yeah, if there's not a November date, if we can continue it, and then I'll just submit a written plea agreement.
November 14th for plea at 9 a.m.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Lawrence Cinco, 22 CF 1299. Judge, at this time, we move to continue the case. I realize that it's extremely old. However, Judge Ketchel was aware that there was an order to release DCF records that was signed by Judge Ketchel, or rather this court, I'm not sure if it was Judge Ketchel, back in February. I just got the records last Friday.
Okay. Any objection to the continuance?
No, Your Honor.
All right. It'll be continued till December 11th at 9 a.m.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of William Robert Friedsberg, 23 CF 523. Judge, if I can get that 11/14 date, I believe that we should have a plea that day.
All right. It'll be set on November 14th for a plea.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Kenneth Eric Manuel Gerard, 22 CF 3013. If we can set this to the December date, there is a witness issue. I had to cancel the deposition because the witness is no longer available, so I need to get with the state to figure out where that individual is for us to set the depo.
Any objection?
No objection.
December 11th at 9 a.m.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Devin Henry Johns, 23 CF 147, 23 CF 149. Judge, we're asking to continue the case. I have did a specific discovery request for all the search warrants in this case. Friday they e-filed that they sent them, but I don't think that I've received them yet, so I need to review those before we set depots.
Any objection?
Your Honor, Ms. Passo did not have an objection to a continuance.
All right. December 11th at 9 a.m. Make sure those search warrants follow up the discovery.
She indicated she sent them last week. I just don't know.
I'm sure it's just lagging.
Okay.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Eric Michael Kraft, 23 CF 1011. Judge, if we can continue this case, I'm traveling to Kentucky this afternoon to do a depo tomorrow morning.
All right. December 11th at 9 a.m.
And finally, Jay Patel on behalf of Jason Scott Kremges, 23 CF 1274. If we can put this on that 11/14 docket.
For a plea?
Yes.
All right. November 14th for a plea. And Mr. Hipsch's case, the plea agreement is sitting on my desk. So we'll put that to 12/11 just for administrative purposes, but I'll get the plea taken care of.
Thank you, Judge. And while we're speaking about that case, I would say on the record that the state has complied with Marcy's law.
All right.
I don't think I have anything further.
All right.
Maybe
Thank you.
excuse?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see. Mr. Fischel on Mr. Duncan's case. Good morning, Mr. Fischel.
For June Duncan, 2023 CF 00958. Your Honor, we have depositions scheduled in this matter for November 28th.
Okay.
I'm requesting the next date, which I believe I heard is December 11th.
December 11th. Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll continue the case till December 11th at 9 a.m. Be sure you stay in touch with your attorney, ma'am.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Mr. Fischel. Mr. Browning?
Got a Coy Brennan for Nancy Holland.
Okay.
Judge, we have to move it to your next pre-trial conference, still in negotiation with the state. Just received the video at the end of September.
All right, so I'll continue the case till December 11th.
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Dees? And after Mr. Dees, it'll be Ms. Dudley.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Robert Dees, first case I have is William James Ammons, 23 CF 1346, Your Honor.
What was the case?
Mr.
Ammons.
Judge, we're going to leave this set for docket day for a plea. No subpoenas will resolve at docket day.
All right, so 1016 for a plea.
Next case I have is James Ellis. Judge, there's a waiver of appearance in the court file for Mr. Ellis, 23 CF 1294. Judge, I expect this to resolve. If we could continue this case, I expect it to fall off the docket. We're working on paying the restitution to the victim.
All right. So December 11th?
I'm also covering for Susan Del Bosque on a Jermaine Britton, 23 CF 1850.
Yes, sir.
She is indicating it's the first time up, still participating in discovery, moving to continue.
All right, so I'll continue this till December 11th.
Thank you, Judge. And I'm also covering for Mr. McCavich's this morning. He has a Mr. Garcia Perez, Edwin Garcia Perez. It's hyphenated last name, Garcia Perez.
There it is.
He's just asking to leave it set for docket day for a plea. Prefer no subpoenas.
Is he confident it's going to be a plea?
What's that?
Is he confident it's going to be a plea?
He indicated
We
he
are
was
both
outside.
confident that it will be a plea.
All right, so we'll leave it on 1016 for a plea without subpoenas.
Perfect. That's all we have, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Dudley? And then Mr. Gilbert will be next.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
The first one I have is Todd Adams in 22 CF 1584. We're asking for a continuance. We just finished up around the depots. The state has made another offer. Mr. Adams lives out of state. So that's for a one-cycle continuance. Adams, Todd Adams.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Will the court be
12-11.
on? 12-11. The next one I have is Crystal Andis Kennedy in 22 CF 2528. We had depositions waiting on some information from Michigan. If we could leave it set for docket day, P or C.
What information are you waiting on?
It's certified prior to see if it matched for a felony. Then we'll resolve it after that.
All right, 1016 for status
Yes,
or
sir.
plea.
Next I have is Marcus Brantley, 21 CF 2641. I would like to leave it set Monday for a plea.
What?
1016. Docket day.
Okay, so 1016 for plea. Okay.
Next is Kerry Floyd in 23 CF 378, 23 CF 380. We're just waiting on some information for the victim. We can leave it set for docket day for P or C.
All right, 1016, plea or continue.
Next is Siobhan Coward in 22 CF 2730. If we can leave it for docket day for P or C, the state's gonna try to look at the video before then. We have had depots.
All right, 1016, plea or continue.
The next I have is John Elmore in 22 CF 2580. And if we can approach real quick on that one.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestviews' very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as
Receive discovery on this one, and we're asking for continuance to the next cycle.
Any objection?
This is for Trayvon Harris?
Yes.
Correct.
No objection.
December 11th?
And our next one is Cornelius Lee in 21 CF 1406. And we're asking for a continuance. We've talked to the state. We have listed a witness, and we're still waiting on some more transcripts. This is a cold case, so we're just asking for continuance to the next cycle.
No objection, Judge. State will need to conduct a deposition of the endorsed witness.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th.
Yes, sir.
Cornelius Lee, based on the state's request.
We have Tyler Merritt in 21 CF 2937 and 22 CF 2894. Recently retained on this one. We're asking for continuance to go to over discovery and get deposition dates.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor, I do realize the age of these cases, but Ms. Dudley was recently retained on these cases. Prior to that, it was with another attorney for an extended period of time, so Ms. Dudley's playing catch-up.
All right, December 11th.
Derek Reed in 22 CF 96 and 22 CF 654. This one was recently transferred to this division, so Ms. Sharpless has really just got it. We are working on trying to get another address for a listed witness, as well as potentially getting a motion filed, so we're asking for continuance.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th.
Good, sir.
To get that witness address in depot.
Then the last one I have on the docket is Nazir Wright. If we could move him to the Wednesday docket, he is incarcerated now. And he would like to be present in court, so.
All right, so Mr. Wright's case will be heard on Wednesday.
And I have one more. Is William Thornton present? Your Honor, Mr. Thornton is listed under no attorney in 23 CF 650.
Okay.
He is working on retaining my office, so he's asking for a continuance to the next cycle to get that done.
All right, it's a new case, so I'll continue till December 11th.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Gilbert, and then Mr. Cotton will be up next.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Michael Gilbert on behalf of Christopher Bates in 20 CF 787. He is present. We have our third round of depots scheduled for December 15th. Request continuance.
Objection, Judge. No objection.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me catch up on my paperwork. All right, so that'll be continued till December 11th with the state's agreement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next case is Joseph Carroll in 23 CF 1357. We have a waiver on file. We're on a waiting list for depositions sometime next year. Request continuance.
So the depots haven't even been scheduled yet?
We're on a waiting list, Your Honor.
Okay. So December 11th at 9 a.m.?
And the last case is Braden Grimm in 23 CF 159. We have a waiver on file. Received a revised offer today and requested continuance.
Any objection?
No objection.
December 11th?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Cotton, Mr.
Morning, Your
Gates
Honor.
is next.
Your Honor, I'm going to handle Mr. Gates' cases as well, just
Okay.
so you know. Your Honor, the first case I have is going to be Pedro Alonso. Your Honor, I've received discovery on that. We just need to set some depositions on that case. We have not scheduled those yet, but they will be scheduled. It's a fairly new case.
Okay, so you want 1211?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, so 1211.
Your Honor, the next case I have is David Bratton. Your Honor, we conducted some depositions in that case. Through those depositions, there's been some additional discovery that I'm requesting from the state. I'm doing that in question form, and the state attorney is going to supply those to the investigators to try and prevent a full forensic audit that has to be done at this time. Did she bring you up to date on that case? Are you handling this?
Yeah, she said she was expecting a plea or
So you want a plea or continuance on the 16th?
Judge, I would like to move that just to 1211 if I could.
But she said expect a plea on docket date or continue, so I think she's okay with the continuation.
All right, 1211.
Your Honor, the next case I have is Travis Abity. Your Honor, we just need whether it needs to be continued or just a motion date set for a motion to dismiss on that case. I believe I got your last one in discovery last week, right?
Yes.
We just need a motion date, Judge.
So you're going to have to contact Judge Petrel's JA to get that date scheduled.
Okay.
So I'll put it on 1016 for status so that I'll give you some time to contact her and figure out what date to go to.
Thanks, Judge.
Do you expect it to take longer than 15 minutes?
Yes, I would expect it to take probably 30 minutes to an hour, max.
Okay.
30 minutes more likely. So 1016 for status?
Correct.
Your Honor, the next case I have is Leanne Anderson. Judge, an information's been filed on that, but we're waiting on discovery. It's my understanding the state was working on that.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th. State, make sure you get the discovery done.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next case I have, Judge, is Wendell Glover. We can leave that set for 1016. That's going to be a plea.
All right, 1016 for a plea.
Next case I have, I'm not sure if this is still on the docket, Your Honor, Knutson. That was a pretrial intervention that has been entered.
Looks like it's been removed from the docket.
Okay, perfect. Next case I have is Chad Cusimano, Judge. Request a continuance on that. We'll need to do a motion to dismiss on that case as well regarding some charges. It will be dispositive on some, but not all. Ultimately, I would anticipate a plea on that case.
Okay. So December 11th?
Sorry,
Yes.
what case was that?
Cusimano.
Your Honor, the next case I have is Mario Aguirre Lopez. Judge, we've completed some depositions in that case. We have one deposition left to continue. Then I anticipate a motion to dismiss and/or we may be at the point where there is a plea in that case to the court, but in any event, it would be a request for a continuance. I know that's an old case. We have continuously kept Judge Ketchel up to date on that case, and I'm going to be getting a new state attorney on that file.
Is that correct? We just need to conduct, I'll need to schedule a new depo date with Mr. Costa. It is accurate. It's an essential witness, Judge, so no objection to these statements.
All right, so it'll be continued till December 11th. Make sure you get that scheduled.
Thank you, Judge. And it took some time to locate that witness. We were both actively moving forward.
Right.
Your Honor, that's all I have. If I can handle Mr. Gates' cases, do you see anything else for me? Okay.
Did
All
you
right.
call Wendell Glover?
I did. We have to set for a plea Monday. I'll do it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Your Honor, with regard to Mr. Gates' cases, there's a Mr. Garcia on the docket, Garcia.
Francisco Garcia.
Yes, sir. It's my understanding depots need to be set in that case. He's requesting a continuance.
Any objection?
One moment. Whose case is this?
Michael's Gates.
Michael Gates. No objection to a continuance.
December 11th at 9 a.m.
And Your Honor, the last case I believe he has is Joel Johnson. I believe there's been a deposition that was scheduled in that case. The victim did not appear, was in the hospital. They need to reset it.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th at 9 a.m.
Your Honor, that's all I have before the court.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Durrell, and then we already did Mr. Weinstock. So Mr. Arrowwood will be after Mr. Durrell.
Honor, may it please the court, Dustin Durrell. My first client is Mr. Franklin Applewhite. And Your Honor, we do have a written plea agreement in this matter, if I may approach.
Yes, sir.
Do you have this spreadsheet?
I don't, but I will provide it.
I believe the state will be filing this for you.
It's
Okay.
that updated score sheet that I sent you, Mr. Durrell. I'm looking at the score.
All right, Mr. Applewhite, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, tell me your full name and date of birth. You can put your hand down.
What'd you say, sir?
Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Franklin Denzel Applewhite, May 20th, 1994.
All right, Mr. Applewhite, your attorneys provided me a plea and sentencing agreement. Did you review and sign this with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did Mr. Durrell answer all your questions?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering this plea, you'll be giving up the right to a trial by jury at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your own defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. In addition, you'll be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Additionally, if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or a plea of no contest today, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
And what will Mr. Applewhite score?
Your Honor, Mr. Applewhite will score 28.2 points, Your Honor.
Okay. So I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Pursuant to the agreement, I will withhold adjudication. I'll sentence you to 6 months of community control, followed by 2 years of drug offender probation. Court costs in the amount of $1,140. You have to have a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment. You have to begin that within 30 days. You have to complete 50 hours of community service, or that can be bought out at the statutory rate. There will be a curfew from 9 p.m. till 7 a.m., and you're subject to random urinalysis. Anything
And I
else?
just want to make sure the curfew can be adjusted for work schedule if need be.
Correct. You'd have to provide proof to your officer of that, but that can be adjusted for work. All right, sir, anything else?
I don't believe so, no, Mr. Applewhite.
All right, thank you, sir. Do you need a fingerprint? Okay.
And next, Your Honor, I have Mr. Dylan Asbel. This is a fairly new one, still awaiting discovery, if I may have a continuance.
And Your Honor, the discovery will be sent to him soon. I have done my part, it just needs to be sent.
Okay, so I'll continue this till December 11th at 9 a.m. Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Durrell.
Yes, sir.
Same for my next client, Your Honor, Caden Bennett, awaiting discovery in this matter.
All right, so I'll continue this case until December 11th.
My next case is Ms. Catherine Booker. Your Honor, we've been trying to get together, Ms. Sharpless and I, with Ms. Sandler. We've yet to manage that. If I can leave her set without subpoenas, see if we can get together to discuss a possible resolution for this case. I know it's been dragging on a little bit, Your Honor.
So Judge Ketchell's note says last continuance was last time. So why should it not be set for trial this time? But I understand you want to meet with Ms. Sandler, but is there anything else that needs to be done in the case?
Not in the case, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I will send subpoenas and I will try to get everyone here on the same day. So play your trial, I think is fine, and then we'll assess on docket day.
All right, so I'll leave it set for your trial then, okay? So ma'am, be sure you stay in close contact with Mr. Durrell, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
And that's the 16th, Your Honor, correct?
16th.
Okay. Next is Mr. Dominic Clark. Your Honor, we had depositions set. There was an error with some of the subpoenas, and the officers turned out were not available on the dates that I had set, so we need to reschedule the depositions for Mr. Clark.
Okay, December 11th?
Next is Mr. David Cowart. Request a continuance. I do have all the discovery. I'm working on a motion to suppress for Mr. Cowart.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th to give you time to do that.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I should have that in beforehand. Next is Mr. Frank Dixon. I'd like to leave him set for trial as well, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Dixon will be set on 10/16 for docket day for plea or trial.
Next is Mr. Charisse Drake. The state has offered a PTI. We're still trying to nail down all the specific terms for the PTI. We can leave them set without. I hope we should have something done by then.
Okay, 1016 without.
And next is Ms. Catherine Gerhardstein. Your Honor, she's got a number of cases. I'm still reviewing discovery if I may have a continuance.
All right, December 11th.
Next is Mr. J.R. O'Brien. Your Honor, I'm awaiting discovery in this matter as well. I think he's pretty fresh. If I may have a continuance.
December 11th.
And finally, Your Honor, is Mr. Adrian Watson. That is Ms. Davis's case. I believe she's downstairs. Oh, you got it? Okay, perfect. Almost the same with Mr. Clark. There's a number of co-defendants in this one. However, we had depositions scheduled, and they were canceled because one of the co-defendants' counsels were not available on that date. So we're, I believe, attempting to reschedule those depositions.
Okay, so I'll continue till December 11th?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And I believe that's everything I have.
That's everything that I saw. Thanks, Mr. Durrell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Arrowwood?
Good morning.
Good morning.
First case I have is Jason Belk.
That was moved till October 11th.
I was going to Judge, the second one I have is a Michaela Crandall, 2022 CF 3105.
Okay.
I talked to the state. I believe we're going to leave this set without subpoenas.
Do you have an agreement worked out?
Well, we have a plea offer. We're still kind of going back and forth, Judge.
So the note says last continuance. Is there anything left that needs to be done? Or if it falls through, is there any reason it can't go to trial?
Judge, yeah, can we approach you for a second?
Sure.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Okay. Judge, that's all I have. I can be dismissed.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Elizada? Oh, yeah. No, is that on today?
Oh, Elizada is still on.
Judge, we just, I guess just leave him separate. Well, actually, if we could move him to the December trial date as well. We have subpoenas excuse me, we've done depositions in this case.
Why shouldn't it go to trial this time? The notes say last continuance.
Well, Judge, I'd say go ahead and just leave it set then.
Okay. So then we'll leave Mr. Elizada set for 10/16 for plea or trial.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Brooks. And then after Mr. Brooks will be Mr. Noakes. Good morning, Mr. Brooks.
Morning, Your Honor. Ken Brooks with Shane Donaldson, 23 CF 865. Your Honor, we're going to ask to put this on the, to continue this till the December 11th date. We're still in the middle of discovery at this time. I don't believe the state has an objection.
Any objection?
Is that a one-cycle continuance?
It's a one-cycle.
The state would, no objection.
All right, December 11th, 9 a.m., sir. Stay in touch with Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. Good to
All
see
right,
you.
thank you, sir. Good seeing you. Mr. Noakes.
Judge, I have Brittany Brown, 23 CF 1382. Judge, I'd like to leave that set for the docket day without subs. The state's made an offer. I just need to chat with her briefly about the offer, so if we could leave it set for the 16th, hopefully we can wrap it up.
All right, 10/16 for plea or continue.
Judge, I'm in the same position on Mr. Casey's case, 23 CF 1178. Leave it set without subs for docket day.
All right, 10/16, plea or continue.
Then the next case I have is Brooke Davis. Judge, we've got deposition scheduled. They had been scheduled for November 6th. They got canceled because your officer no longer works for the sheriff's office.
You don't have to find them. If you want to.
So Judge, if we could continue, because I think I need to try to reschedule that depot.
Okay, December 11th. Are you Miss Davis?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Noakes, okay?
Thank you.
And then the next case is Alicia Dean. Judge, I do have depot scheduled on November 6th for that, so I was going to ask to continue it.
No objection, Your Honor.
December 11th. Miss Dean, be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Noakes, okay? All right, thank you.
Judge, on the docket is an inmate. I guess that's going to go for 2 days. The
Brandon
Eubanks?
Eubanks?
Yeah, he's an
on
inmate.
10/11.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Mr. Cruz?
Good morning, Judge. I have 23 CF 1409, Tyrese Cruz, on behalf of Mario Forbes. Approaching is Mr. Forbes. Your Honor, this is his second time up in court. The state and I are completing discovery. I would have asked for your December 11th date, but I realize I have a conflict on that date. If the court would be willing to set that for your January pretrial, and if the state and I work out a resolution, then we would bring it back for docket day.
There isn't a January pretrial yet. So what I'll do, I'll set it on December 11th.
Yes, sir.
And then you can either get coverage counsel or file a motion with the state at that time, okay? Any objection from the state on Mr.
No objection.
Forbes?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so December 11th.
I also have 22 CF 1519. I have a plea offer. May I approach?
Yes. And is Mr. Henderson approaching?
Yes.
Does the state have a score sheet?
We do, Judge. However, I do not have one available right now. My understanding is that defense counsel will be stipulating to it. He scores 22 points, and I'll be emailing it to the court afterwards.
Okay.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Henderson, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, tell me your full name and date of birth.
Fabian Henderson, 11/08/96.
All right, sir, did you review and sign this plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over it with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering this plea, you'd be giving up the following rights, as well as any rights that are outlined in the plea agreement, but you'd give up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your own defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you, as well as the right to appeal any actions taken by the court, except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or a plea of no contest to this charge today, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
All right. And this is the state's agreement, correct? Mr. Lasco, this is the state's agreement, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, sir, so I will accept the plea. I have a question, though. What are the court costs in this case? I have no idea what they are.
I think it's 515 you're on.
I would defer to the clerk.
There's no statute number on her. It is, and I can't read the statute number on the docket. I'm guessing it's 790.115 GB.
I do not see that statute listed in the mandatory, so I'm going to say 515.
Okay.
It's not a drug charge, so they won't be an
Okay. All right, sir, so I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold adjudication. You'll be sentenced to 2 years of probation. You must surrender the firearm. You must take a gun safety course. You must take an anger management course. You must complete 150 hours of community service that can be bought out at the statutory rate. You can file a motion for early termination when statutorily eligible, but there is no agreement on whether or not that will be granted. And then you'll have to pay court costs in the amount of $515, as well as the cost of supervision in this case. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. Be sure you check in with probation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Graham? I saw Ms. Graham come in, but I know she's got a Zoom hearing at 10 also. So we'll come back to Ms. Graham. Mr. Kilpatrick? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Keith Kilpatrick representing Johanna Dwyer. She is actually outside, Judge, but we're going to be asking for a continuance, and she knew that. Does the court want her present right this second?
Have you seen her this morning and spoken with her?
Yes, sir, I have. As an officer of the court, I haven't.
All right. Is there any objection to the continuance?
No, Your Honor.
I noticed the offense date. What needs to
Maybe
occur on
approach
Ms. Dwyer's
her.
case? Sure.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store.
All right, so I'll continue the case until December 11th at 9 a.m. Be sure you stay in, well, you'll tell her to stay in touch with you.
I will, Judge. Thank you so much.
Mr. Rare?
Morning, Judge.
Are they all under Mr. Lapella's
Yeah,
name?
everything's on the same to the file name, or firm name. First, I have Judge as Ms. Nicole Bola, B-H-O-L-A.
Okay.
And she's present and approaching Judge. I spoke with the state this morning, Your Honor. I've filed a reciprocal witness to the state. They may choose to depose her, but I'm going to try to get some additional contact info to them. They'll decide whether to move forward with that or not. We spoke about continuing it out to the next December cycle to get that done.
Is there any objection?
No, Your Honor, there's no objection.
All right, so I'll continue it till December 11th. Is there any reason this can't go to trial next cycle?
I don't think so, Judge.
All right, so I'll write last continuance as well.
Understood.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Next judge I have is Jay Burns. Judge, this is a new case. We're still awaiting discovery from the state asking for a one-cycle continuance.
All right, I'll continue until December 11th.
Next judge I have is Mr. Greg Cofield. This is Ms. Basso's case. We have depositions currently set for November 7th, asking to move that out to December 11th pretrial.
I'll continue until December 11th.
Next I have judge is Irma Irazo Salvador. It should be under the E's. On this case, Judge, we've done depositions. We spoke with the state about it's going to be likely some kind of PTI. We're working through final terms on that. I spoke with the state about leaving it set for docket day without for an earlier status date.
All right, 1016, plea or continue.
Next I have Judge is Donald Fowler. Judge, this is a newer case. We're still awaiting initial discovery from the state. Continuance.
December 11th.
Next judge I've got is Christopher Goins. On this case, Judge, we're working on some additional discovery from a security firm related to records in the case. Ms. Boss is not here, but Mr. Losco is covering for her this morning. We had a note from her to discuss leaving this set for plea continue on docket day for us to have a follow-up conversation this week.
Okay, any objection, Mr. Losco?
No objection.
All right, 1016, plea or continue.
Next judge, I think it may still be on the docket, Andrew Ham. And Judge, my understanding with the state is that paperwork is pending to transfer that down to county court. I don't know if it's gone through yet, if it's still in the docket. If we want
That's correct, Judge. We filed the paperwork to have it opened up as a misdemeanor case.
Okay, I'll continue until December 11th so that the paperwork can catch up.
Next to have Judge is James Harden. Again, Judge, newer case. We're still waiting on most of the initial discovery from the state. Continuance.
All right, December 11th.
And then last I should have Judge is Mary Liza. We have a round of depositions currently scheduled for October 20th. Ask to move this out to December 11th pretrial for status.
No objection.
All right, based on the depositions, it'll be continued till December 11th.
And that should be all I have this morning, Judge.
I thought I saw one more at the very beginning. Ricardo Acento Cruz.
That was Noel Frost, Judge. That should have fallen off.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge. We covered him, ma'am. That was continued to December 11th pretrial.
Yep.
Right. And that should be all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. And we already did Mr. McKevich's. Mr. Gilpowell. I don't, there he is.
That's true, Judge.
Okay, so we'll come back to Mr. Medina.
Hey, Judge, good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to do Bo's cases first, if that's okay.
Sure, give me 1 second.
All right.
All right, so Thomas Cole?
They did one round of deposition, Judge. They got more depositions to take. I think Christine sent an amended offer on it, like it continued.
Any objection?
Which case was this, Judge?
Thomas Cole.
Thomas Cole with Bo Powell.
Mr. Powell, you want to set it for docket day? Is that what you just asked?
No, he said continue.
No, need to continue.
Your Honor, Ms. Basso was asking for it to be set for docket day. She said the depositions are done, and that they need to have a conversation, so if we can leave it set for docket day, she'd prefer that.
All right, I'll put it on 1016 for plea or continue.
Okay, got it, Judge, thanks. The other one, Brandon Lukes, 22 CF 1856.
Okay.
Stipulated motion for continuance, I believe. There's a waivers on file.
State?
I'm sorry, I
Lanu?
can't hear him.
Brandon Lanu?
That's my bad, Judge. No objection to continuance, depositions are ongoing.
Okay, December 11th.
Judge, I've got Juan Bonavista, 22 CF 1075 and 1076. State filed new information not even a month ago. We've got to take depositions. We hadn't got all the discovery on that.
State?
That's accurate, Your Honor, based on the FDLE report. Amended informations were filed, and we're still waiting on some recorded control buys that are in evidence to get downloaded, so a continuance would be necessary.
Okay. You're next, Ms. Graham.
Eddie Meadows, Judge.
Okay.
21 CF 542L. Yeah, there's a waiver on file. I'm having all kind of problems with Mr. Meadows, Judge.
I see him standing there.
What?
Are you Mr. Meadows, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, come on up, sir.
Good. Thanks for being here, Eddie. Judge, we've got a few more items to work out on the deferred prosecution agreement. We'd like to continue it one cycle and try to get this worked out.
Is it?
No objection to a continuance. This would be the last continuance with regard to waiting on the PTI to be fulfilled. After that, I would withdraw the PTI at this point.
You understand that, Mr. Meadows?
Sir, I don't really understand. So with the situation, when I did that, it was because of everything that was going on. Like, I really didn't understand what was going on with that.
You understand that what the state's saying right now is that they're giving you...
Yes, sir. I understand.
Hang on a second. Let me make sure that I understand what Mr. Losco is saying. Mr. Losco, you're saying that you'll give Mr. Meadows until December 11th to complete all the remaining terms of the PTI?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. You understand that, sir?
Judge, I think Mr. Meadows doesn't understand. I think he wants to go back to the original charge, which is pretty serious charges.
I'm happy to set it for trial, and he can...
Yes, sir.
Complain or explain to the jury, and the state can explain to the jury, and they can decide. Mr. Losco?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection to that?
Setting it for trial?
Setting it for trial.
Judge, I would ask that we give him one more cycle to comply. What was requested of him was so nominal. I believe it was to get a mental health evaluation and then get any recommended follow-up treatment. Judge, I believe that mental health is at the core of what's happened here, and I don't believe that the defendant would disagree with that statement, at least not his attorney.
And he's a war veteran, Judge, and had numerous problems.
Mr. Powell, here's the question. Does your client want additional time to complete the PTI, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll continue this until December 11th at 9 a.m. This is the last continuance. If it's not completed by December 11th, it'll go to trial in December, right after Christmas. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Graham. Didn't we do Mr. Batista?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Give me 1 second. We
Sure.
did Mr. Batista. He had 2 cases. It's going to be December 11th. All right, go ahead.
Yes, Tricia Graham on behalf of Crystal Canizaro, who's present here with me in the courtroom, case 23-CF-1123. This case is Ms. Bossa. I've spoken with Ms. Sharpless. We'd like to keep this for docket day for a plea or continue.
Canizaro?
Yes.
All right. Is that the state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 1016, plea or continue. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thanks, Ms. Graham. Ms. Harris? Good morning, Ms. Harris. Mr. Keach, you're next.
I have Jamal Carter. The state attorney and I have reached an agreement as to sentencing, or as plea, it will be a plea in absentia to the misdemeanor count.
Okay.
I think if we set it on the docket day, we can get that done and filed. The state will dismiss the felony count upon his plea to the misdemeanor.
Okay, so I'll set it on 1016 for plea or continue.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harris. Mr. Keach?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
First case on the docket would be State of Florida versus Brittany Bonney, Boney. That is going to be 23 CF 1217. Judge, I haven't seen Miss Bonney this morning. I haven't had any contact with her since our last court date.
Habeas, hold for first appearance.
Next will be State of Florida versus Jennifer Diaz, D-I-A-Z. She has two cases on your docket, 23 CF 660 and then 23 CF 516.
Good morning, Ms. Diaz.
Judge, we can leave this case set for trial. I think it's the intent that the parties try the 516 case, excuse me, the 660 case first. No objection there. If we can leave it set for docket day and jury review and trial.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, that's accurate, and Ms. Diaz needs to understand that I did accept the counteroffer that Mr. Keach made, and if it's not accepted by docket day, that will be revoked at docket day.
All right. So both cases will be set on 10/16, and the 660 case will go to trial if it's not resolved on docket day.
And finally, Your Honor, State of Florida versus Martevai Sorey, S-O-R-E-Y, 23 CF 167. He is present, coming before the court. Judge, there's an outstanding order for Mr. Sorey to submit to a buccal swab. He has contacted my office late last week to try to arrange that with the Fort Walton Beach Police Department. I've advised him to go meet Sheila Mercer at the Fort Walton Beach Police Department today.
She's available at any time before 4 p.m. today at the Fort Walton Beach Police Department.
Okay.
And so based on that, if we could move it one cycle to the December pretrial date so we can try to get this case in for a landing. We have done most of the depositions, but this is what this, and then the results that come from that will still be needed.
Okay. Mr. Sorey, it's 10:30. So go from here to the Fort Walton Beach Police Department and submit to that buccal swab with Miss Mercer. If you don't do that today, then you're probably going to be arrested so that they can get the buccal swab, okay? Yes, sir.
Do we want to set it for Monday on the 6th, or the docket day, just to confirm that he did that and then roll it over to the...
I think that's a good way to keep a handle on whether the buccal swab was collected there.
All right, so 10/16 will be your next court date, sir, okay? So go from here, Fort Walton Beach Police Department, to complete that buccal swab, okay?
All right. Judge, I believe that's all I have. Maybe excuse?
Yes, sir.
Right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Good seeing you.
You too.
Mr. Katalinic?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Harsher will be next.
Your Honor, the first case that I have, good morning, sir, is Ryan John Foster, F-O-S-T-E-R. He's here present in the courtroom. Case number 22 CF 1819.
Okay.
Your Honor, that will be a plea, and I would like to go over the plea if I can now.
Okay.
He would be sentenced to a withhold of adjudication for that domestic battery by strangulation.
Make sure you turn off your phones. If your phones go off again, then the deputies... If your phones go off again... Mr. Switek saying, not me. If your phones go off again, then the deputies will take it until the end of court. All right, go ahead.
Again, Your Honor, it's a withhold of adjudication, 5 years of probation, reserved jurisdiction on restitution, $867 in court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, no contact with the victim, Heather Parsons, batterers intervention program, and no trespassing at 1325 Miracle Street Parkway. May I approach and tender?
Yes. Sir, with the phone, I can still hear it going off, so get up and go outside and figure out how to turn it off.
Judge, regarding the plea, that is correct. The state, my understanding is that the defense is stipulating to our score sheet. We'll go ahead and send it to the court after court.
Okay. And has the victim been notified?
The victim has been notified.
All right. Does the victim want to be heard, or is the victim in agreement? Or do you know? The victim's been notified. How about
Can we approach?
Yes.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Patch Realty. Helping qualifying heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands.
All right, Mr. Foster, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Ryan John Foster, July 17, 2000.
All right, sir, your attorney has provided me with a plea and sentencing agreement. Have you reviewed and signed this with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And has he answered all your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that by entering this plea, in addition to the rights that are enumerated on the plea and sentencing agreement, you give up the right to a trial by jury at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you, as well as the right to appeal any actions taken by the court, except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition, if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or a plea of no contest today, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. In 22 CF 1819, adjudication will be withheld. You'll be sentenced to 5 years of probation, during which you'll have to pay the cost of supervision. I'll order restitution and reserve jurisdiction to determine the amount. You have to pay court costs in the amount of $867. You have to pay a $100 cost of prosecution. You're to have absolutely no contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. I believe it's Heather Parsons. You must enroll in and complete the Batter's Intervention Program. You can't return to 1325 Miracle Strip Parkway. And the defense is stipulating to the score sheet?
Yes.
All right, sir. So that'll be the order of the court. Check in with probation, okay?
Yes, sir.
I need to be clear on this court cost. The $100 prosecution fee is already in the $515. Is this an additional prosecution fee?
Well, I said, what are court costs?
Up to $867.
Okay, and that includes the $100 cost of prosecution. So is there an additional $100?
No, Judge, that was not our intention. We're not trying to double up on the cost of fees.
Your Honor, he also has a cash bond, which I'm asking for. Yeah, it applies to everything that needs to be applied.
All right, so the total court costs, which include cost of prosecution, will be $867. Any cash bond will be applied to any outstanding costs, okay? Check in with probation right over here on the first row, sir.
The next case that I have, Your Honor, is Scott Wiley Altilio, A-L-T-I-L-I-O, case number 23 CF 590. Your Honor, I thought we had an agreement today. There was restitution involved. We had the restitution. The state needs to go over some issues with the victim, and I understand that. And if we can set this case for, Ms. Sharpless and I discussed that, and we'd like to leave the case set for next Monday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it being left for trial, or is it being left clear?
For a possible plea. I think we have everything worked out, Your Honor. I think that Ms. Sharpless needs to talk to the victims about some issues.
You agree, Ms. Sharpless?
Yes, Your Honor. That's
All right.
accurate.
I'll leave it on 1016 for plea or continue.
Yes, sir. The next case that I have, Your Honor, is Ryan Patrick Asbury, A-S-B-U-R-Y. Case number 22 CF 465 and 23 CF 465 and 23 CF 1564. Your Honor, we're leaving this one set for a possible plea or continuance for next Monday.
State?
That's fine, man.
What's left that needs to be done on this case? The note says last continuance.
Your Honor, basically, I have to figure out a way to convince the state to lessen some of the problems on the case.
Ms. Sharpless?
Your Honor, to be honest, we haven't talked about those issues, but if we want to leave this set for plea or trial, I can send subpoenas and try to get everybody here for trial.
That's fine, Judge.
All right, so I'll leave it set on 1016 for plea or trial.
Yes, sir.
Which case will go first?
Your Honor, I guess the older one, 23 CF 465.
State's agreement? Is that the case you want to try first, the older one?
Yes.
All right.
The last case that I have, Your Honor, is Dalton David Kitzan, Kitzan. And Your Honor, we have deposition set for November 8th. I'm requesting a full continuance on this case, 23 CF 882.
All right, December 11th.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harsher?
Good morning, Your Honor. Dustin Harsher on behalf of Jalen Driver, case numbers 23 CF 0499. Your Honor, I received discovery last week on this case. I was recently retained. There's a waiver on file for Mr. Driver as well. He lives in Tennessee. I'm just asking for a one-cycle continuance to complete discovery and get a hold of some deposition transcripts that were done by the PD's office.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor, the discovery was recently forwarded to him.
Okay, December 11th.
Thank you, Judge. I'm also covering two cases for Tony Henderson this morning.
Yes, sir.
The first one's DeMarcus Smith, 23 CF 1162. I believe Mr. Smith is incarcerated, but he has depositions scheduled on 11/28 and 12/5, so I just asked for a continuance to that December 11th date as well.
He's not an inmate.
He's not an inmate?
Is there a waiver on file?
If there's not a waiver on file, Judge, I just asked that his presence be waived. I had a note here that from the office that he was currently incarcerated in Okaloosa.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
December 11th.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Judge, can I get clarification on DeMarcus Smith? We're just setting up for a docket day to get him to come in, right?
Just to make sure that we actually know where he is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That's all.
All right, thank you. Mr. Switek. And Mr. Garrett will be next.
Morning, Ron. I've got Bernard Buchanan, 2023 CF 25. We'd like to leave that set for docket day for soft plea.
How confident are you in the plea?
Pardon me?
How confident are you in the plea of the soft plea?
I think it's a good plea, and I'm going to recommend it to the client. It came in Friday, and we talked about it a little bit this morning. I can't say I'm absolutely confident, but he would be wise to accept it.
All right, 1016, plea or continue?
That'll be fine. And then the same for Anastasia Hubbard.
(1016) plea or continue?
And for the record, that's 22 CF 1801.
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Garrett? Ms. Gooden's next.
Your Honor, there are waivers on file for my clients today. First is Peter Feckety, Chris Garrett on behalf of Peter Feckety, 22 CF 2747. We are scheduled for a deposition on October 30th, requesting a continuance to the next pretrial.
Any objection on Mr. Feckety?
No objection.
All right, December 11th.
Then Chris Garrett on behalf of Brian Buchan, 23 CF 1078. We had a deposition in this case a couple of days ago on Friday of last week. We're requesting a continuance to the December pretrial to continue with negotiations with the state.
December 11th.
And finally, Chris Garrett on behalf of Victor Cardona, 22 CF 2934. We'd ask that this case be left on docket day for plea to continue. We're just in the final stages of negotiating a potential plea agreement.
So the note says last continuance. So if you don't negotiate an agreement, what's left that needs to be done?
I'm sorry.
Victor Cardona.
Victor Cardona?
Your Honor, we can leave it set for plea or trial. I do think there is something that we will work it out, but we can leave it set for plea.
All right, set for plea or trial. And then 10/16 is docket day.
Thank you, Your Honor. When would the jury selection date be? Okay, this. Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Gooden?
Morning, Your Honor. Cheryl Gooden for Frederick Brown. There's a waiver on file,
Okay.
23 CF 1523. We're asking for a continuance to December 11th.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
December 11th at 9 a.m.?
The next one I have is Cheryl Gooden for Taylor Copeland, 23 CF 1142. We're asking for a continuance to December 11th.
All right, December 11th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have unless Madam Clerk tells me otherwise.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Of the private counsel still in here, who got here first? Mr. Niddle raised his hand first.
Mr. Niddle was probably here first, Judge. I think Judge Flowers was here before me, it matters.
All right, Mr. Niddle, come on up. You raised your hand first, and then it looks like Mr. Shaw's going to be second, and then Mr. Flowers will be after that.
Dexter Lane. Is there Angelique Crofton here? Dexter's here somewhere, he may be outside. Dexter here? Yes. Judge, next to me here is Miss Angelique Croxton. I just got appointed to her case last week. I haven't had a chance to speak to her. I would ask to set this over one time.
What was the last name?
Croxton, Croxton.
Your Honor, I think she had Mr. Harper.
Okay.
She did, but I just got appointed last week, so.
And she'll be listed on Mr. Harper, that's what he said. She is, Judge, she's on my page 55, listed under Mr. Harper, but I think he did recently withdraw last week.
All right, so I'll continue this till December 11th. Be sure you make an appointment with Mr. Niddle so we can help you out, okay?
Just wait.
Thank you.
They said Mr. Lane's out in the hallway, Judge. I just got appointed to Mr. Lane's case.
Have you seen Mr. Lane?
I don't know.
If you don't know Mr. Lane and you haven't seen Mr. Lane needs to be in here.
I'll see if they said he's out in the hallway. Let me check.
Okay. All right, Mr. Shaw.
Morning, Judge. Tim Shaw for, if I may cover Jack Wilkins' case first. He has Cameron Calais, 23 CF 0808. That will be a plea. He's asking to do it on November 14th, if possible, Judge.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
November 14th for plea.
Thank you. Judge Tim Shaw for Savion Allen, 23 CF 1310. We've been efforting depositions in Mr. Allen's case. We have to wait for the state to open their January calendar.
All right.
So
December 11th.
Next case is Roy Delano Austin, 23 CF 1200. I'd ask to leave that set for Monday for your continuance, Judge.
10/16, clear continue.
Christopher Paul Berry, Judge. This is a case, although it's very old, we just were retained on it in August. There's as you might imagine with the charges, there's a mountain of discovery that we're trying to go through right now. I'd like to put it on for December 11th.
State?
Your Honor, I would like to object, but he did just get on the case, and honestly, we're still going through to make sure he has all the discovery. So I'm not going to give him a hard time.
All right, December 11th.
Next case is Chance Boyd, 22 CF 2090. Have discussed this multiple times with the state. We'd like to leave it set on Monday. For plea or continuance, there was an option batted around recently that I think may get it resolved.
Okay. 10/16, clear continue.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Patrick Broadnax, 23 CF 14 and 23, there's a TR, but depositions are currently set for November 17th, Judge. So we get 12/11.
12/11.
Nathaniel Fannin, 23 CF 1505, received the discovery last week. We continue at one cycle to 12/11.
12/11.
John Geiger, 23 CF 695. Depositions are currently set for November 7th, Judge.
12/11.
Jerry Lee Hollingsworth, 22 CF 1975. We have taken a round of depositions. There's one, maybe two others that have to get completed, and then this case is ready for trial, so we can go trial in December.
All right, 12/11, this will be the last continuance.
John Edmund Holmes, 23 CF 454. We'd like to leave that on for Monday. It should be for entry of a PTI, Judge.
All right, 10/16, clear continue.
Thank you, Judge, and I believe that's all I had.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Flowers?
Good morning, Judge. First matter is number 53 on my docket, Seth Beavers. There's two more depositions and an eyewitness that has to be located at the state. Had an address, but he's moved. We're asking this matter be continued. I don't believe that there's any objection from the state.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, 12/11.
Judge, I'm asking a continuance on the next matter. Craig, he's injured out of state. I'm asking for a last continuance and asking the court to direct that it be my last continuance.
State, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, 12/11, and this will be the last continuance. We'll go to
Understood.
trial in December.
That's what we had contemplated, Judge. Thank you. Ethan Edge got discovery Friday, Your Honor, so we're asking it be continued.
December 11th.
That'll be fine. Next matter is Carson Honeycutt. Their deposition's January 9th, and so from a practicality standpoint, I don't know what a 12/11 date would do, but I'm going to be here anyway, so maybe for control purposes.
We're going to go to 12/11 because I don't have any January dates.
Thank you. Judge, that's all I have before you today. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. All right. So I see Mr. Powell, and I see a couple other private attorneys. Who was here first?
Jason Cromie on behalf of Leslie Jones.
Okay, Mr. Cromie?
Yeah, state's got an announcement to make.
The state is announcing a null cross on this case. I'll file one when I get back to the office.
And this is 23 CF 1144?
Yes, sir.
Leslie Jones, that's correct.
So the docket says Kelly Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Kelly.
Okay, so Kelly Jones. The state's dismissing Kelly Jones.
Right.
That's correct.
That's right. I'm sorry about that.
All right, so Ms. Jones's case is dismissed.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good
All
day.
right, thank you. You too. All right, who is next on the private attorneys? All right, Mr. Powell, move first.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Dixie Dan Powell on behalf of Janet Foster. I've been working with the state back and forth by email and documentation. So I don't really know where we're at, other than leave it on for trial. No, did you get a chance to look at everything?
Wait, who is this on?
This is on Janet Foster. I believe it's 121 on the docket. I would ask for a one-cycle continuance so I can review the documentation that defense counsel has provided to me.
Has the state requested a continuance before?
Not in this case, no, Judge.
Okay. And the defense has continued this before?
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor. There's an issue that I think we can work out on the bond. Had mentioned last time, I hadn't filed a motion because we were trying to work it out, but her fiance put up her bond, and there was a misunderstanding on this case stemmed from Kansas and a state matter with her father. So, anyway, she's got a $20,000 bond, and I'll file a motion.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at daystirepros.com. Tire.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brandon Morris for Jacob Butler, waivers of Mr. Butler's court file. Judge, we have deposition set of the investigating officer in this particular case scheduled for October 24th. We're going to be asking for a continuance in the matter.
All right, Mr. Morris, I'll continue Mr. Butler's case until December 11th at 9 a.m. All right.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have for the court. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Mr. Keach, do you have one more?
May I recall one?
Sure.
Judge, if I may recall, Brittany Bonning, 23 CF 1217. She's coming before the court. If we could ask the capias to be recalled. She is here, and we're ready to resolve this matter, if I may.
All right,
Approach
so
with
recall the
it.
capias.
May I approach?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, she's going to withdraw a pre-sentence plea of not guilty and tender a plea of no contest as charged in the two-count information. The terms of the plea agreement contemplate that she be placed on probation for a period of 2 years in each count concurrently, and that shall also run concurrent and coterminous with her probation that she's currently being supervised in 22 CF 1571. The conditions of her probation include performance of 50 hours of community service work, obtaining a substance abuse evaluation within the first 30 days, any follow-up treatment, and submit random urinalysis. She shall also pay court costs in the amount of $615 and $150 legal assistance fee that would be consecutive with her probation, fines, and court costs in 22 CF 15171. And that she maintain gainful employment or show a minimum of 2 job applications per week.
When roughly does Ms. Boney's probation terminate in 22 CF 157?
She was placed on probation in June of this year.
for how many years?
2 years.
Your Honor, she entered a plea to probation, and after she had already been arrested on this case, so it was kind of anticipated this would be a concurrent deal. And it was she was placed on probation in the earlier case just prior to.
But the state's agreement is coterminous.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Boney, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Brittany Leanne Boney, 8/14/89.
All right, Ms. Boney, have you reviewed and signed this plea and sentencing agreement?
Yes, sir.
And has Mr. Keach answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
In addition to the rights that are enumerated that you'll be giving up in this plea and sentencing agreement, you understand that you'll be giving up the following constitutional rights. You'll give up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No.
All right. So, ma'am, and is there agreement on the score sheet?
Yes, Your Honor. Her total sentence points are 21 points, and I will submit that to the court at a later time.
All right. So I'll accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. In both of these cases, you'll be sentenced to 2 years of probation on each count concurrently. Probation shall run concurrent and will be coterminous with 22 CF 1571. The conditions of probation, in addition to paying the monthly cost of supervision, are that you'll perform 50 hours of community service, obtain a substance abuse evaluation, and any recommended treatment. You have to do that within the first 30 days. You're subject to random UAs. You must pay fines and fees in the amount of $615 in court costs and $150 legal assistance fee. You must maintain gainful employment and show a minimum of 2 job applications per week, and adjudication will be withheld. You need to check in with probation here today, ma'am, okay?
And Judge, just for clarification, will the court be willing to waive her supervision fees in this case, and she's already paying those in the other case, and it's concurrent and coterminous?
State.
I don't object to that.
All right, so we'll waive the cost of supervision based on that.
All right. Judge, that's all I have. Maybe excuse.
All right, thank you. All right. Any other private counsel that I've missed? All right, Mr. Harper.
Judge, I can start with number 145 on the dockets, William Adams. His presence. Judge, if we can leave this set for clear, continue, we've been trying to get him into a rehabilitation facility, but he's just provided me with some documentation that addresses the prescription status of these particular items. I need to provide that in reciprocal to the state. We might be able to come to a resolution sooner rather than later. So if I can bring him back on docket day, once the state has that in their possession, we might be able to close it.
All right, 1016, clear, continue. Thank you, sir. Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Harper.
Okay, Adams. What?
Mr. Adams.
Adams. The next one, Judge, is Stephen Kelly. Stephen Arnold Kelly.
Stephen Kelly Arnold.
Kelly Arnold, sorry.
Good morning, Mr. Arnold.
Good morning. Judge, on his case, I'm going to do depositions. I think this is a potential motion to dismiss. I just need to do depositions to confirm that. If I can set this for one cycle, I should be able to get the depot sets and then hopefully have some progress on the motion.
All right, December 11th. Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Harper, sir, okay?
Yes.
Mr. Atkinson is next. Diamond Atkinson.
Diamond Atkinson. Judge, if we can pass her for just a little bit. I have not seen her this morning, but I do know that she's been making progress on her DCF case.
Okay. We'll give her a minute. Maybe she's in the hallway. Bankston.
Desmond Bankston is present.
Jeremy Best will be next, so Mr. Best, come on up. All right, Mr. Bankston?
Judge, I'm going to ask for a full cycle continuance. I think that there's a witness that I think is essential that wasn't listed in discovery. He's going to provide that to me so I can provide that to the states. She was a third party that was there. They're getting that contact information. So I'd ask for a full cycle continuance so we can do her deposition.
All right, sir. I'm going to continue the case until December 11th. You need to provide that information to Mr. Harper this week, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
The next one is Jeremy Best.
All right, after Mr. Best, it'll be Joshua Biglin. Mr. Biglin, come on up.
Judge, on Mr. Best's cases, we had continued this so that he could get his license. However, he's advised me this morning that that is unlikely to happen before June. So he can't even get a hardship license, which was that was the intent, that was our strategy. So if we can set this for plea or continue, I will talk to the state, see if we can work out an agreement as it stands to these charges and hopefully resolve this cycle. I don't think this is a case that will go to trial. I just need to talk and confirm that we're able to close it this month.
All right, so I'll leave it set on 10/16 for plea or continuance. If it's not resolved on 10/16, then the violation of probation case will be set for an evidentiary hearing, okay?
Thank you, Judge. Joshua Biglin.
Mr. Biglin?
I've received some correspondence that he's actually in the hospital this morning. I think something was just filed as well with the clerk.
It was, Your Honor. The state received that. He filed a pro se filing, Your Honor.
Did it say what hospital and why?
For Walton Beach Medical Center, and I think it's, the reasoning is, I think it was, I didn't see it. I talked to somebody else that told me about it.
What's the letter say?
Your Honor, it states that Mr. Bilgen has been in the he is unable to make it. He's in the hospital. He's been paralyzed, according to him. I don't know if he's reached out to Mr. Harper and provided any documents that he's in the hospital. I don't.
I'm going to set it on 10/16 for status, so Mr. Harper can provide additional information.
I'll reach out to the hospital this week, Judge. Number 151 is Shanna Bland. Judge, with respect to Ms. Bland, I think that there might be, if this...
Is Ms. Bland present? Ms. Bland?
I think I might have been inadvertently appointed to her case. The order in this particular matter pertains to another individual. I'm not certain if we were appointed correctly. The order itself pertains to Stephen Arnold, 23 CF 1068. I have no idea. I don't think so. I think that the PD did not actually withdraw for this case, but there was an order entered appointing us, but that order pertains to another individual.
I'm looking for the order, here it is. Order allowing the health board to withdraw and appoint regional counsel at this time.
I think that that order pertains to Steve Arnold, though.
Okay. So Ms. Bland's case, we'll hear that when we hear the PD cases.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to...
Just put it with the PD cases for now. Okay.
William Blythe would be next.
Mr. Blythe?
Approaching.
After Mr. Blythe will be, is Mr. Bonilla in custody or out of custody?
He is His bond was revoked and discharged, Judge, so I think he's now in custody.
Okay.
It had been my intent to continue, but on Mr. Blythe's case, if we can leave him set for docket day, I think he's inclined to resolve it. I think we just need to come to terms on this, Judge, but I think it's possible to resolve this cycle.
All right, 1016, plea or continue?
Yeah, next Monday, okay?
Stay in contact with Mr. Harper.
Yeah. Let me call. The next one, Judge, is Travion Braxton. He's on before the court on a number of cases. He should be present and approaching.
Good morning, Mr. Braxton. After Mr. Braxton, it'll be Noah Brennan.
Judge, Mr. Braxton, I think we're going to need to do depositions with respect to the newest case, 23 CF 126. That's the case that's not only that, but 22 CF 2943. He was in the custody of DJJ for an extended period of time before he was transferred up here. But we're going to set depositions, and I would ask for a full cycle continuance.
What about the older cases? Those are March of last year and November of last year.
Yes, sir. He was, I think, in DJJ custody for the majority of that time. It was just continued for housekeeping purposes until it was transferred to me from the public defender's office late. But these are
all related.
These are all related, and frankly, there are, for the most part, most of these are older cases. But I'm hoping we can close it this by the end of the year.
Okay. So you want to continue it till December 11th?
Yes, sir.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right. 1211. Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Harper, sir, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Brennan.
And then after Mr. Brennan, it'll be Michael Bryan. Mr. Bryan, come on up.
Judge, Mr. Brennan is a new case to me. I would ask to continue this for one cycle to go over discovery with it and discuss this case.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll continue the case until December 11th. Be sure you meet with Mr. Harper, sir, okay? Thank you.
The next one is Michael Bryan. There's a waiver of appearance in that case, Judge. I believe a motion to dismiss has been filed and is pending. I'm not certain as to the disposition.
Yeah, that's Ms. Jakewood's case, Your Honor, and I think we were trying to get a date. I don't know, did she want to come back on docket day to try to get a date?
Let's put it on 1016, and you all can get with Judge Ketchell's JA to get that date scheduled. And 1016 is just for status.
The next one, Judge, is Terrence Calhoun.
Mr. Calhoun?
I've not had any contact with Mr. Calhoun, Judge. I don't know if we want to pass this case to see if he's present outside, because this is a new case to me. It's transferred. He might be out there with the PD clients.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to go outside and try and get him.
Next case, Judge, is Vera Carroll. There's a waiver of appearance in her case. She actually is a resident of California. I'm trying to coordinate a written plea agreement that hopefully will not involve her flying back here. If I can set this for plea or continue for a possible resolution.
All right, 1016, plea or continue.
The next is Marcus Clark. Who's present and approaching?
After Mr. Clark, it'll be Jonathan Cook. So Mr. Cook, come on up. Good morning,
Judge,
Mr. Clark.
In Mr. Clark's case, I'm going to need to do depositions in this matter, so I'd ask to set this for 1211.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
1211, 9 a.m. Stay in touch with Mr. Harper, sir.
Next is Jonathan Cook. He's before the court on 21 CF 3229. Mr. Cook at this time will withdraw his previously entered plea and enter a plea of no contest. This will be a plea to a lesser included offense of a misdemeanor possession paraphernalia. Be adjudicated guilty, sentenced to credit for all time served, be assessed $270 in court costs, $150 cost of defense, and he's asking for 120 days to pay those costs, if I may approach.
Yes, is that the state's agreement?
That is the state's agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Cook, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I've been provided, or tell me your full name and date of birth.
Jonathan Richard Cook, 9882.
All right, sir, I've been provided a plea and sentencing agreement. Did you review this with your attorney and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Did he answer all your questions about it?
Every single one.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter a plea to lesser included offense?
Yes, sir.
You understand that In addition to the rights that are enumerated in this agreement, you'd give up the following rights. You give up the right to a trial by jury at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
In addition, if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or plea of no contest to this offense, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
All right, sir. I will accept the plea to the lesser included offense. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. On the lesser included offense, you will be adjudicated guilty. You'll be given credit for time served. You'll have to pay $270 in court costs, $150 cost of defense, and you must pay all those costs within the next 120 days, sir, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. What's the judge catch it usually is?
If we can send the judgment, Judge, I
Okay.
think that's what's typically
Thank you.
done. Yes, sir.
He does a combination of both, Judge. I mean,
That's fine.
Judge, Michael Costin is incarcerated, so I'm assuming that will be moved to 10-11. The next one is Tremont Coward, number 162 on the docket. He is present and approaching. Judge, with respect to the new charge, 23 CF 52, we're going to ask to continue this for depositions. We have a reciprocal discovery witness that we sent to the state. We need to do her deposition because she's an alibi witness.
All right. So we'll continue these cases until December 11th?
Next judge is Stacy Crowley.
Ms. Crowley?
She's, Ms. Crowley, if it's okay if she stays there. 'Cause she's
You can stay there, Ms. Crowley. I see you.
If we can set this for plea or continue, I'm hoping we can resolve it this cycle. She's having some medical issues, and I'll talk with the state about it.
Can you all approach?
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
That Boy's Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
Next Monday, Ms. Crowley.
All right, ma'am, so make sure you talk with Mr. Harper between now and your next court date.
Judge, the next case is Angelique Croxton. We withdrew off of that case, I believe, and Mr. Niddle was appointed.
Correct, and we've handled that.
Okay. Next judge is Jonathan Dodson.
Mr. Dodson, come on up. After Mr. Dodson will be Sherry Ann Dorgan. So Ms. Dorgan, come on up to the bar.
Mr. Dodson's case, Judge, I would ask to continue this 1 cycle so I can have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Dodson about his case and how he would like to proceed.
All right. I'll continue this until December 11th. Mr. Dodson, you need to make an appointment with Mr. Harper so that he can help you with your case, okay? All right, thank you.
Next is Sherry Dorgan. Judge, there's a waiver of appearance on this case. The state and I had talked about leaving this set for plea or trial. I believe last cycle was announced, last continuance. Ms. Dorgan gave me a bunch of reciprocal discovery. I will get that to Ms. Sharpless as soon as possible, if we can bring it back on docket day for plea or trial.
10-16, clear trial.
Aaron, can we, I guess, make a note that if those text messages change something, that I might not be able to go to trial this cycle?
Correct. I understand that there's discovery it sounds like you don't have yet, and if that changes the state's position, that's understood.
Next is Candace Felton.
Ms.
President
Felton?
approaching.
Come on up, Ms. Felton. After Ms. Felton, it'll be Trayvon Fitzgerald.
Judge, I think Ms. Felton is new to me. If I can continue this one cycle to meet with her and go over her case.
All right, Ms. Felton, I'm going to continue the case until December 11th. You need to make an appointment with Mr. Harper so he can help you with your case, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fitzgerald? After Mr. Fitzgerald, it'll be Dennis Foster. Mr. Foster, make your way to the front.
Judge, likewise, Mr. Fitzgerald, I would ask to set this for 12/11 so I can meet with him and talk with him about his case and how he would like to proceed.
When were you appointed, Mr. Harper?
I think it doesn't say on the docket, but I think that was appointed last cycle. I just haven't had an opportunity to talk to him about his case yet.
I'll continue it till December 11th. Mr. Fitzgerald, you must make an appointment with Mr. Harper, okay?
Yes, sir. Judge, next is Dennis Foster. If we can have Kathleen Yee follow him. Judge, Mr. Foster's case, can we approach?
Sure. Parties have stipulated to one last continuance. If the case isn't resolved on December 11th, then it'll be set for trial, okay? Thank you. Come on up, ma'am. Ms. Gee. After Ms. Gee, it'll be Robin Grantham.
Judge, Ms. Gee is new to me. I would ask to continue this for one cycle, 12/11.
December 11th. Ma'am, make sure you make an appointment with Mr. Harper, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The next one is Davion Graham.
He's on
He's in the
10-11.
county jail.
He's in custody, so is Mr. Grandison. So next is Robin Grantham.
Robin Grantham. Your Honor, I believe you need to approach on this.
Clyde Griffin. followed by Ms. Hales.
Judge, this is Mr. Griffin. If we can leave this set for docket day for a possible plea or continue, I think it's possible we could resolve it this cycle, and I would like the opportunity to try
Okay, 1016, plea or continue.
next Monday.
Ms. Hales. After Ms. Hales, it'll be Christopher Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, make your way to the front.
Sorry, Judge. Did you say Clyde Griffin for 1016?
Correct.
For possible plea.
Okay.
Janika Hales is next, Judge. I think that this is also a possible plea, if we can leave this set for plea to continue. I think the only possible issue is the fraud case, and I'll just email you about why that might not be.
Yes, Judge, and I will be out of the country on Monday. I'm leaving notes for Ms. Sandler, who will be covering for me, if possible. I'm trying to avoid putting a ton of cases for possible pleas on docket day, so how confident are you that this might be a thing?
We can do one cycle continuous, this is the first time up.
Thank you.
All right, 1211.
Hey, Janika.
Mr. Hamilton. Up next will be Lacey Hammett.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Judge, Mr. Hamilton has been working diligently on his license. I'd ask for a full cycle continuance. He will have his license in hand by next court date. This case will be resolved on that.
All right, December 11th. Ms. Hammett.
Judge, I received correspondence. Oh, she's here. Come here. She was running a little late. Yes, okay. Judge, this case is new to me. I'd ask to continue this to 12/11.
All right, December 11th.
I'm going to give you my card. Well, you have my contact information. Just set up an appointment. Okay?
Ms. Hammett, make sure you make an appointment with Mr. Harper so we can help you, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Harper, in this case, we are offering an amended plea offer for her to plead to a misdemeanor battery and 10 anger management. I just wasn't sure if you communicated that with your client.
I haven't. Are you okay with leaving that open?
That's fine.
Yes, ma'am. No, you're good. You're good. Jeremy Hargis is next. Yes.
Is Mr. Hargis present? After Mr. Hargis, it'll be Pamela Hinson.
Judge, on Mr. Hargis's case, I would ask for a full cycle continuance to meet with Mr. Hargis, have an opportunity to discuss this case with him, and go over his discovery.
All right, I'll continue the case till December 11th. Mr. Hargis, you need to make an appointment with Mr. Harper so that he can help you, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Ms.
Judge.
Hinson?
This is Pamela Hinson. The state and I talked, and I think we need to do the deposition of the victim in this matter. We would ask for one last continuance to the December 11th. After that deposition, I think we should be able to resolve this.
State?
That's correct, Judge. Mr. Harper and I did speak last week regarding all of our cases. This is one of the cases that I think we've gotten him some depo dates on.
Okay, December 11th, ma'am.
What do you think? Deposition. Okay. All right? Okay. Thank you. Keep in contact. Mr. Huerta is next. He is present and approaching.
After Mr. Huerta, it will be Chantel Johnson.
Judge, Mr. Huerta has been diligently working on his, getting his license back. He anticipates he will have that by the end of the month. If we can continue this to 12/11, we should be able to resolve his cases on that date.
All right, December 11th.
If something comes up, let me know.
Chantel Johnson.
Judge, she is present. I have, oh, she's here. Judge, I think at this point, we're going to need to continue this one cycle. This matter is the first time up, and I think the offer is a DOC sentence. She was just sentenced to probation in Santa Rosa County. I'm hoping we can come to an agreement, but I would need one cycle to hopefully negotiate that out.
All right, December 11th, ma'am. Stay in touch with Mr. Harper.
And follow up with that stuff I told you.
All right, Jeremy Knox.
Judge, there's a waiver of appearance in Mr. Knox's case. We're continuing to do the deposition of the co-defendant. The co-defendant, I believe, is out of state. We thought that she was local, but she's not. So I would ask for one last continuance. This will be the last continuance.
Has the deposition been set yet?
I think that's one you know about.
Judge, there was a list of depositions that need to be taken. I believe we've sent some dates over, so we're working on it, and I believe it will be set soon.
All right, December 11th, and then this will be the last continuance, okay?
Yes, Judge. Michael Rogers is incarcerated, so I believe he'll be moved to this Wednesday.
Correct.
John Roots is next.
I see Mr. Root approaching. After Mr. Root, it will be Angelica Starkweather. Ms. Starkweather coming up to the bar. Good morning, Mr. Root. Good morning.
Judge, on Mr. Root's case, if we can have one last continuance, we'll be clear trial next cycle.
What's left that needs to be done? It was...
At this point, Judge, unfortunately, we've been pursuing different options, such as drug court. He was accepted to drug court at one point. He was accepted to mental health court, and then he was not accepted, and there are reasons behind that. But we have been trying to get him into a treatment program based on his mental health issues. We have not found one that's been appropriate or that he's been accepted into. I'm trying to get him into Phoenix House, and if he can get into Phoenix House, hopefully that becomes a possibility. Otherwise, this is a case that's older, and we would have to proceed to trial or enter a plea at that point.
Would the state's position change at all if Mr. Root were accepted into Phoenix House, or is the state going to be at the same position for its offer? Because this was announced last continuance last time.
Judge, honestly, I'm unsure of that. I think that this is one that preceded me, and I think they were working on that prior to me taking over. But if we want to announce it for trial, Mr. Harper, and then if Phoenix House changes something, then we can.
We can bring him back on docket day, Judge, leave it set for plea trial for way to work something out that seems more concrete than speculative. Maybe we'll just move it at that point, Judge.
All right, plea or trial will be set on 10/16.
10/16, next Monday, okay? Be here at 9 o'clock.
Ms. Starkweather?
Judge, there's a waiver of appearance in her cases. She's actually in an inpatient treatment program. She's kind of unusual. It's a weird program in that she was released because she was pregnant, gave birth, and she's doing treatments while at this facility. So I would ask to continue this to 12/11.
All right, December 11th, 9 a.m.
Next is Trenton Tucker.
Trenton Tucker. Mr. Harper, any reason for Mr. Tucker's absence?
No, Judge. I have received some correspondence from his family members. They're represented by counsel, and I believe have filed some information. If we can pass Mr. Tucker just briefly, I'll talk to the state in the gap, and hopefully we can come to, if I can just pass, to see if I can get him.
I'll give you a moment to see if you can locate him.
Jonathan Wallace, I believe, was moved to Wednesday.
Correct.
Next will be Armand Waters.
Mr. Waters, I see approaching. After Mr. Waters will be Travis Wingo. Mr. Wingo coming up to the bar.
Judge, on Mr. Waters' case, this is a new case to me. I'd ask to set this for 12/11.
All right, Mr. Waters, I'll continue the case till December 11th. Make sure you make an appointment with Mr. Harper and keep it before your next court date, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Travis Wingo is next, Judge, and if I could recall Diamond Atkinson.
Okay.
After that. Mr. Wingo is present, Judge. The issue here pertains to the firearm. I think I'm going to have to do a motion to dismiss in this case. If I can set this for 12/11, I'll coordinate that with the state and get that scheduled.
Okay. December 11th. Let's do Kelly Young, and then we'll go back to the other case.
Kelly Young is next. Judge, this is the first time up. I've spoken to Ms. Young at length, however. I think that there's some reciprocal discovery that's may be pertinent to a resolution in this case. If we can just do a full cycle continuance, it has to do with the dog, 12/11.
All right, December 11th, 9 a.m.
And if I can recall, Ms. Atkinson. She is number 147 on the docket. She was downstairs, Judge, which is why she was not present earlier.
Okay.
Okay, Judge, I believe this was a case that was with Ms. Basow. If we can set this for 12/11, she's been making progress on her DCF case. I think she's close to reunification. Hopefully that will change the offer in this matter.
All right, December 11th.
Judge, and now we'll talk to the state about the, I think, 2 other cases there.
All right. Mr. Niddle? Mr. Niddle. Is he not in here? He was just in here. He just stepped out. Can I see the public defenders, Mr. Medina? And I saw Mr. Gates. Can I see you, Mr. Medina, in the state?
Made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestview.agent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Ms. Mason?
Judge, this is Miss Mary Mason. I believe she's charged with possession of a controlled substance. She was previously represented by the public defender, but she is going pro se at this time. Miss Mason did file a motion to suppress. I did see that and I read it. But we need it to be set. Obviously, Judge Ketchel is not here today to hear the motion. I can give her his assistant, because I believe his JA does the setting herself.
Right.
So if we could just continue this one cycle, and then I'll give her the contact information for Judge Ketchel's assistant.
Yes, sir.
That way she can email him, and we can get the motion set for a hearing.
Thank you.
Does that sound good?
Yes. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue it till December 11th. Any email that you send to Judge Ketchel's assistant, you have to copy the state on also.
I'm sorry,
okay?
I can't hear you.
The email that you send to Judge Ketchel's assistant to schedule the motion hearing, don't talk about the facts of the case, just say you need to schedule the motion. And you need to copy the state attorney's office on that email as well, okay?
Okay.
All right. So December 11th will be the next court date.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And ma'am, could you come over here and I'll give you the contact information? Thank you, Judge.
Let me take Mr. Niddle, then I'll take Mr. Medina.
No problem. Do you want to have a seat?
Judge, recalling Dexter Lane. Judge, I was recently appointed to Mr. Lane's case. This is a somewhat old case, going back to, I believe, January of last year. There was a deposition scheduled. Unfortunately, they only deposed one of the 14 witnesses. I don't know why. I haven't spoken to the attorney. There's a co-defendant in this case. He's represented by Larissa Dudley. I need to speak to Ms. Dudley. Apparently, she was at the deposition as well. I would ask to continue this to that December 11th date.
And when were you appointed to this case, Mr.
I believe
Niddle?
it was August, late August.
All right. So I'll continue it till December 11th. Whatever depositions you're going to take, you need to schedule them soon, though. Okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Medina?
Yes, Judge. I'm trying to sort out who's here and who's left because I've done a bunch of waivers, but I'm ready to proceed the best I can. Number 234 on the docket is Alexis Jr. Is the last name Gurley, G-U-E-R-L-Y, Gurley Alexis Jr. Mr. Gurley, Mr. Alexis is approaching, Your Honor. We have an agreement in his case. The state is...
Hang on one second. Let me make sure that we can find it.
I'm sorry, the last name is Alexis, A-L-E-X-I-S. I had it as 234 on the docket.
Okay.
And the state is...
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good.
Your Honor, Mr. Gurley, Alexis Jr. is before the court in 23 CF 1167. I believe we have an agreement. It was worked out based on negotiation with the state last week. And
coming up to the podium, Mr. Alexis. There you go.
Yeah, very good, Your Honor. And we will not need a score sheet because it's for a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Your Honor. Okay. Just making one small addition, Your Honor.
Okay.
So, that's while you're on probation. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That's the copy you can keep. If I may approach with a copy for the court, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Mr. Alexis, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir.
Your Honor, in the terms of the agreement that's been worked out with the state, there would be adjudication of guilt to a lesser included offense, misdemeanor carrying a concealed firearm, carrying a concealed weapon. It was a carrying a concealed firearm. It's being reduced to the misdemeanor weapon. And Madam Clerk, the statute references on the lesser included is included in the agreement. 11 months, 29 days probation that would be supervised by JCS. Does the court have does the bailiff have a card for JCS? Okay, all right, so before you leave, make sure you know where you're going because you got to report to probation today. But it's JCS, not state probation. Your Honor, there'd be 270 court costs, 150 PD fees, 24 hours community service, maintain gainful employment, or complete 2 job applications a week, and no firearms while on probation.
All right, Mr. Alexis, I've previously sworn you. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Gurley Alexis Jr., 05/31/1999.
All right, Mr. Alexis, I've been provided a plea and sentencing agreement. Did you review and sign this with your attorney?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did Mr. Medina answer all your questions?
Yes, sir.
In addition to the rights that are enumerated on this form, you'll also be giving up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state would have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your own defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence by entering this plea. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
In addition, if you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
All right, sir. I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. On the lesser included offense, you'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll be sentenced to 11 months and 29 days of probation, during which you'll have to pay the $50 per month cost of supervision. You have to pay $270 in court costs, $150 on the public defender fees, 24 hours of community service. You must maintain gainful employment while you're on supervision. And if you're not employed, you have to complete 2 job applications per week and provide proof of that to probation. You're not to possess any firearms during the period of supervision. All right, sir. You need to report in with JCS probation today. Do you have the QR code? Or is that downstairs also?
So, gotta see it until Travis comes back with some cards. Okay, about where you're supposed to go. Your Honor, I don't know if he needs to be fingerprinted for a possession of a concealed weapon.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir. So you have to report to JCS probation today, okay?
Yes, just, he's gonna sit down and wait till we get the card address, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
Next will be David Joseph Archer.
Come on up to the podium, Mr. Archer.
Your Honor, Mr. Archer is before the court, docket number 237, David Joseph Archer, 23 CF 166. I believe at this stage, Your Honor, he needs to return on docket day in a week. My question for the state is, we just got the FDLE lab report, recently got it, and I need to go over the situation with him. I don't know if I'm going to be able to meet with him this week. I doubt it because of court and travel. But if he returns on docket day, can we just do that as a plea or continue? And we'll continue the case if we can't work it out. But I do think we might be able to work it out between now and Monday.
That's fine with the state, Your Honor.
All right, 1016, plea or continue.
Okay. You're going to come back next Monday at 9 a.m. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, next is Joseph Aaron Boone. Mr. Boone is 246, docket number 22 CF 1886. Joseph Aaron Boone, Your Honor, is before the court. Your Honor, this is one where we had filed a motion in limine related to, among other things, the intoxilizer room video not being made available. When I talked to Ms. Sharpless recently, she was going to reach out to Florida Highway Patrol and/or Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, whose intoxilizer room was used for that part of the investigation. I don't know if the state has any additional information. Should we do a, what I didn't want to do is prematurely say it's a plea or trial if it was going to come up, if we were going to get it.
I don't know that the sheriff's office has a video. The sheriff's office used to have a camera in the intox room. I don't know that that still exists.
I think it still exists, Your
Does
Honor.
it?
That's what I was trying to figure out, Your Honor, and what the procedure was when Highway Patrol takes them.
Okay.
He's had to come several times from Lee County, and I know that there were significant efforts between the parties to resolve it. We haven't resolved it. Could we do a full cycle, one last full cycle, to give the state a final chance to see if we can find the video? All right.
All right, 1211, and then this will be the last continuance. All right, sir, so stay in touch with Mr. Medina.
I understand. All right, thank you. Your Honor, next is Bridget Marie Buskey, B-U-S-K-E-Y. Ms. Buskey is approaching. We have an agreement, Your Honor. It's for a misdemeanor, and the state is reviewing it.
Okay. All right, Ms. Buskey, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Bridget Marie Buskey, 1033.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, this is going to be, I may not have stated it, but it's for a misdemeanor, so we will not need a score sheet.
That's accurate, Your Honor. This is the state's agreement.
And it's another one with, it's gonna be JCS supervision, so you're gonna, before you leave, you don't leave the courtroom till you get the card for how to get to JCS, okay? May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, under the terms of the agreement, does the court prefer for me to state what the agreement is, or does the court want to just state it from the agreement?
I'll just state it from the agreement.
Okay.
That's fine. All right, Ms. Buskey, you've previously been placed under oath. Have you reviewed and signed this plea and sentencing agreement that Mr. Medina just handed me?
Yes, sir.
Has Mr. Medina answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
In addition to the rights that are enumerated on this form, you understand that by entering this no contest plea, you'd be giving up the following rights. You give up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
In addition, if you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this no contest plea, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am. On the lesser included offense of possession of paraphernalia, I will accept the plea. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll be sentenced to 11 months and 29 days of probation. It will be supervised by JCS. You'll have to pay the $50 per month cost of supervision. You'll have to pay $270 in court costs, $150 public defender fee. You have to have a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment. The evaluation must be done in 30 days. Treatment must be begun within 60 days. You're subject to random UAs and random breath tests. You must complete 24 hours of community service. You must maintain gainful employment or complete 2 job applications per week while you're on supervision. You need to report in with JCS probation today, ma'am. I believe they just gave you the business card, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'm giving you a copy, okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, next on my list of ready to proceed in court, but I do need a chance to talk about it, is Gerardo Cano. Mr. Cano is here with his wife. Could we put him aside, Your Honor, because I think the state and I want to discuss PTI possibility. I just forwarded proof of the VA. He's in intensive VA requirements in the Stone Mountain, Georgia area, Your Honor.
Okay.
So I think we're going to be able to work it out. And I don't want him to have to come all the way back from Georgia. So
Okay.
Can we set him to the afternoon if we can't work it out this morning?
All right, so Mr. Cano, we'll recall your case on the 1:30 docket today, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. And kind of similar is Coco Carthon. Ms. Carthon is approaching, Your Honor. She's 261 on the docket. The state was going to, it's 261 on the docket before the court, and 23 CF 905 is the new law, and there's a VOP case, 21 CF 2665. I would inquire, does the state know if it's had alleged victim contact in the new law case? I think that was where we were. You were going to talk to the alleged victim.
I attempted it.
Do we need to bring her back on docket day or a full cycle, or can we work it out today, you think? It was basically.
Bring it back on. Bring it back on.
Okay. Your Honor, can we bring Ms. Carthon back on docket day for a plea or continue, and hopefully we can work out the case then, Your Honor.
Okay, 1016 for a plea or continuance.
Okay.
Mr. Medina, you have one more case.
You're going to come back a week from today at 9 a.m. Okay? All right, thank you. Don't feel to here. Thank you.
All right, one more case before we take a lunch break, Mr. Medina.
Okay, Your Honor. John Chapman. I don't know if Mr. Chapman's here, Your Honor. He was here. Okay. Trying to figure out who's here. Mr. Culbreth, Armin Culbreth. Your Honor, Armin D. Culbreth is before the court, 271 is the docket number. It's case 23 CF 1247. I believe this is one of Ms. Basso's cases. After I met with him in the hall, I remembered that Ms. Basso was not available today. I know that he has provided me some information, and we do need to have a follow-up conversation. He always wants the court to know that he's here because he comes over from Alabama. I believe his family's here with him. They're being very supportive and attentive to his case. So I think we probably need to have a full cycle continuance. I sent Ms. Basso a detailed written statement of some outstanding discovery issues.
Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor, Ms. Basso did not have an objection to that component.
All right, so I'll continue your case until December 11th, sir, okay? Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Medina.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to be in recess until 1:30 so everyone can get some food, including the court staff. And can I see Mr. Peacock really quick? So we are in recess.
All right.